Welcome aboard. I hope everybody had a spectacular Memorial Day weekend. Hey, man, one of the most important weekends of the year for me is Memorial Day weekend, okay? The men and women that have served our great country. We lost our loved one, okay? We lost our loved one to war. I posted a picture of his flag. And I will tell you this, it means a lot. He was my brother-in-law, my wife's brother, David. And I will tell you this, it means a lot. And you know what we do? We remember him with good thoughts, good memories. Paul asked me if I watch Patton. Of course I watch Patton. Da, 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 da. Of course I watch Patton. Again, hopefully everybody understood what the Memorial Day weekend was all about. So we hope you had a spectacular one, and thank you so much for coming aboard. I always start out here with this. Please do me a favor. Hit the like button. Thank you so much for coming aboard. God, do we have a lot to hit on here today. We have an absolute ton to hit on here today, and we so look forward to talking with you here. God, man, the sports world is just filled right now. And as we're getting ready for OTAs for the Eagles, other teams are getting ready for OTAs. Make no mistake about it, man. We are just absolutely filled here today. Gary Cobb will join us in hour number 2 at 4:30 Eastern time, and we'll get into the Eagles with him from Fox 29 in Philadelphia. All right. Guess what, folks? You got the ear of the Cowboys. The Cowboys are paying attention to the Philadelphia Eagles. Why do I say this? Dak Prescott was asked the question, the quarterback of the Cowboys. Okay? Hey, what do you make of the upcoming 2022 season? You know what he says? We haven't taken a step backwards. I don't care what anybody says. We're going to prove all the doubters wrong. Really? Man, when you have great confidence and you have great confidence in your teammates and you have great confidence in what's going on with your organization, you know what? You don't make statements like that. You don't have to. You just go out and pay rent in September. The Cowboys are trying to win the public relations battle once again in the offseason, which they're notoriously known for. Yeah, we got a Super Bowl roster, a Super Bowl quarterback. Man, we haven't taken steps back. It's funny you have only won 3 playoff games in 25 years. And there's the Eagles flying under the radar, not saying shit, not pumping their chest, letting everybody else, like guys like me and other folks, pump their chest. This is awesome, man. Guys, you have the Cowboys right now where you want them. The Cowboys are fielding questions because we all know this. The Cowboy roster is not the same as it was a year ago. It's just not the same. And the Eagles have upgraded. They're a year more experienced. The quarterback is taking a ton of shit in the media. I mean, look, the Chris Sims stuff, hopefully we're able to catch up with Sims this week. I text Chris. I want to get his thoughts. By the way, he's going to release the rest of his top 40 quarterbacks in the NFL. That's why maybe he has to wait a week to come on. So we'll wait and see how he wants to play it. But Chris has been on at least twice already on this show. So we'll catch up with him. But you've got the Cowboys where you want them. Dude, they know you're right over their shoulder. This is spectacular. I saw this, and I saw Dak Prescott answering questions, man. Dude, William, he is delusional. Jerry has been delusional for guess what? 25 years. and going. We have a Super Bowl roster. You know what he's telling you? I've built a Super Bowl team every year. We just can't get across the finish line. Well, it's coaching sometimes, and most of the time. Okay? Rico says have the best receiving core in the division. I would also say this. Okay? Okay? I would say this. Washington looks pretty decent too. Okay? Just keep it quiet, guys. Just keep it quiet. Okay? You got him. You got him. You got him. I love how Dak's handling it too. Okay? He's just going out there. No, we're not. We haven't taken a step back. No. We got a really good football team. We're going to be more. And you're like, don't answer those questions. If I were the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, you know what I would be saying? The same exact thing that Jalen Hurts is saying. Hey, I look forward to the opportunity to go out and see what we can do in the division this year. That's all you could say. Because you know what you want to do? You want to do something that shows confidence. And have you ever heard Brady do that? Have you ever heard like the really great quarterbacks go, hey, we ever taken a step back? We're going to be great. What does Brady usually say to stuff like that? Hey, we're just going to try to go out and compete and see what we can do in the division and see what we can do in the conference. We're just going to go out and try to, do our best, and we'll see what happens. Because you know what you're trying to do? How about this? How many times do you hear this with the Cowboys? Overpromise, underdeliver. The Eagles are doing this, okay? They're doing the direct opposite of that. They're not overpromising anything. They're going to go out and let their play speak for itself. The Cowboys like to speak for their play. And then they have to speak for their failures. That's what makes the Cowboys the Kardashians of the NFL. If I had to pick a reality television show that resembled the Dallas Cowboys, hey, you want a soundbite, Xander? If I had to have a reality television show remind me of an NFL team, it's the Cowboys. They're the Kardashians of the NFL. They are the Kardashians. Not very much talent. I don't know what they do. They make a lot of money, but at the end of the day, they're really not talented. Okay, they look good in that uniform. That's it. There's zero talent. Make a lot of money. A lot of people know who they are. End of the day, you have no talent. The Dallas Cowboys are the Kardashians of the NFL. Plain and simple. That's who they are, and that's who they'll always be as long as that owner owns that team. And you know I love the owner. But when you only have 3 playoff wins in 25 years, and you're always over-promising and under-delivering, and you hear your quarterback going like this, we haven't taken a step back. Really? You think losing Amari Cooper and losing Randy Gregory, guys in your O-line and some other dudes on your defense is not going to put you in a hole? Okay. The NFL's version of the Kardashians, the Dallas Cowboys. Congratulations to you. Right? All right. Let me start it out here. Here's an Eagle topic for you. A lot of new additions. God, we have so... Look at what I have for you guys today. Look at this. We're just filled, man. We are just filled. Who will be the biggest weapon for the Eagles in 2022? Just a game here. At the end of the 2022 season, who do you think will be the biggest star? I want to throw this at you here. Let me go over to this. Let me bring this up to you here. Here are the stars that are on the Philadelphia Eagles offense. The offensive stars: Dickerson, Kelsey, Johnson, Goedert, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. You notice I didn't put Jalen Hurts. He's not a star. Now, you may think, as of today, Jalen Hurts is not a star. He's not a star player. Hurts is not a star, dude. Flex, Hurts is not a star. So you're saying he is going to have a better season than Dickerson, Kelsey, Johnson, Goedert, A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith. Okay? Today, on May 31st, Jalen Hurts is not an NFL star. Okay? He's a potential star. He's a potential star. But you wouldn't call Dickerson, Kelsey, Lane Johnson, Dallas Goedert, just got a contract extension. A.J. Brown, just got $100 million. Devontae Smith, first-round draft choice. These guys are stars. Jalen's not. Potentially he can be. Okay? Those are your offensive stars today, as of today. Now, look, by the end of the year, can that change? Absolutely. We all know that. Guys step up. You see new superstars rear their heads. We see that every year. Every year we see guys. All of us, nobody saw Cooper Kupp's year coming. Did anybody in their right mind at the beginning of last year, did anybody watching us right now, did anybody do this? Cooper Kupp's going to be the best wide receiver, and he's going to have a historic year this year for the Rams. Nobody said that. Hell, even with that year, you wouldn't consider him one of the top 3 wideouts in the NFL, but you would say that was one of the greatest years of all time. And now he's become a star. Right? Now he's become a star. Jalen can do that too. Jalen throws for 4,200 yards, 34 touchdowns. He's going to be a star. But today he's not. Okay? Appreciate it. Malata says, A. Thomas. By the way, guys, okay, please hit the like button. We appreciate you guys coming aboard. I'm Eastside Monster. I'm talking on offense here. Who's going to be the offensive star? Okay? Who's going to be the offensive star this year for the Eagles? That's the addition of A.J. Brown is going to lead to somebody else on the – is it Dallas Goedert? Could Dallas Goedert get into how about this? Let me ask you this. Showtime. That's kind of where I'm going. Randall, Cam Jurgens, I got a topic for Cam Jurgens. I'm going to hit that here in a minute. Showtime. Interesting you should say that. Guys, do you think Dallas Goedert has the potential to be a Kittle, a Travis Kelce? You think he has a chance to be that kind of guy? You think he has a chance to get into that conversation where we can see a guy like that elevate his game? There's a reason that the Eagles gave that dude a contract extension because they see the potential. There's also a reason that they moved Zach Ertz because they see the potential. Okay? Charles, it does depend on Jalen. But I would say this, Charles. Having a guy like A.J. Brown, I'm going to make this point to you. I think A.J. Brown, his significance is going to be this. He's the main dude. You're going to double him. If I was a defensive coordinator, I would start the first 4 games of the year, and I would isolate him more. You know they're going to try to get him the football as much as they possibly can. They're going to target him as much as they possibly can. Wouldn't you, if you're Nick Sirianni, prepare your second and your third option to have a great year, you've got to be relying on option 2 and option 3 because that guy, I'm not saying that AJ can't be that guy. Go out, get 1,100 yards. Dude, if AJ Brown has 1,100 yards and 88 catches, somebody else on that team, I think, may have a bigger year. Okay? May have a bigger year. But what do you Smile says he has average hands. Rico basically echoing that. John says, yeah, he's better in yak. He's not as fast or dynamic as Kelsey or Kittle. Alan, how do you know that with the quarterback being still in the position of, trying to elevate his game? With a better quarterback, how do we know that, right? Again, we're talking about the elevation of Jalen's game too here. There's no question. I'm leaning to Goedert. And why would I lean to Goedert to be the Eagles' number 1 weapon in 2022 when everything is said and done? Why would I lean on that? Guys, why would I lean on that? Because your tight end position since 2000, and maybe even before that, has been the centerpiece of your offense for 22 years. It's not been the wideout. The only wideouts that have had significant time in this organization's history has been T.O., Jeremy Maclin, Deshaun Jackson, sure. But other than that, they have not. Deshaun Jackson's presence on the field opened up for Chad. Having somebody like Maclin opened it up for Zach. Okay? There's no question. Okay? There's no question that position has been a focal point for the Eagles in the entire time, almost that Jeffrey Lurie has owned the team. Because he will be single covered with a safe. That's Charles Xander. Charles. Right there. Charles. That's the key. Dallas Goedert, in my opinion, is going to be a Pro Bowler. He'll be single covered with a safety. Devontae is going to be covered with a corner. AJ is going to be covered with a corner and a safety. Goedert is either going to have a linebacker or safety on him. They've got to make that position the focal point of their offense. Their screen game has to be big. I'm expecting the number 1 weapon. And by the way, that doesn't diminish. Hey, if A.J. Brown has 980 yards and he's got 78 catches and Dallas Goedert's got 100 catches and he's got 1,200 yards, don't you think that Travis Kelce benefited by having a guy like Tyreek Hill on the field? Okay? I mean, that to me is going to be significant. I thought about this question. I go, how many stars do you really think that the Eagles have on that offense? Who's going to be their major guy by the everything said and done? Plus, he's a safety valve on the scene, block and release. Dude, if they can make their approach this year, if Jalen can find him, they may have the best offense in the NFC East this year if they make Dallas Goedert their number 1 go-to guy. Am I wrong? Okay? This has been a position of success. Would you say this? What's his name? Chad Lewis? Would you say this? That Chad Lewis, Zach Ertz, these guys have been pretty good ball players. Right? These guys have been damn good ball players. These guys have actually been the dudes that took you to 2 Super Bowls. Wasn't really the wideouts. Those 2 dudes in that position kind of took you there, didn't it? See, to me, one above all, I think this kid has a chance to be like Kittle in San Francisco. I think Dallas Goedert can be like Kittle. I don't think he has the same hands that Travis Kelce has, and I think Kelsey's better in space. Okay? But can he develop that? Yeah, the more that Devontae ends up developing, the more AJ gets open, and obviously Jalen Hurts' development. Sean says, I've been saying it from the beginning. A.J. Brown or Smith will have 1,000 yards and Goddard will have 1,000. I don't think we'll throw the ball enough for 3,000 yard receivers. You're not going to have 3,000 yards receivers. You are not Sean. There is no way. You've never had two. In one season. You think you're going to have three with a developing quarterback? That's a big ask. Allen says their combine 40 numbers say so. And on the 50 tape, analysis 15 gets Kelly numbers spurring. Okay? Somebody like that. Okay? No, I got it. The Wi-Fi will come back around again. Okay, we'll be here too. Maybe we'll take a time out here and to see if that we can get this thing fixed around again here. So, yeah, okay. Chris Sims must be near. But do we agree? Okay, do we agree that we're looking at a position here now where Dallas Goedert has to be the star of this? And I think he's going to be your star by the end of the year. All right. Somebody brought up Cam Jurgens. Who brought up Cam Jurgens earlier? Who brought up Cam Jurgens? Was it you, Randall? By the way, Randall, somebody said something to me earlier. You went on one of the earlier shows. I think it was Sports Take. I'm glad that you're here, and we appreciate you coming here, man. I know that you had a loss in your family, and I hope you being here is all good too. So we appreciate you being here. You tell me how they're going to do. Mac, appreciate you coming aboard. Thank you so much. Guys, please hit the like button here. What is exactly the plan for Jason Kelce in 2022 for the Eagles? Are they going to play Cam Jurgens? Are they going to give him time? Is Jason Kelce going to be a guy that's going to split time with Cam? How are they going to do this? Are they just going to have him sit back and watch? To me, what I would be doing, I'm not saying that I'm taking snaps away from Jason Kelce. But what I am saying is this. Okay? I mean, I'd like to get the kid some snaps. So what exactly is the plan? Are they going to – I'm not saying start the guy, but to me, I want the guy to get some playing time. Okay? Okay? That's good to hear, Birdman. So does Xander says it's clear too. So some of you guys may be struggling a little bit. We appreciate it, though. Thank you so much, Birdman, for clearing it up for us there. How'd you play Cam Jurgens this year? knowing that this is Jason Kelce's final season, how would you play Jason Kelce? Guy made the Pro Bowl last year. Remember that. Okay. Right tackle? No. How would you play him? Give him reps in preseason games? Okay. Randall, that's some of you are struggling with your stream today, so it's not us. Play him in junk time? I don't want to play him in junk time. I want to play him in critical time. I want to get him reps. How do you do that? How do you give Cam Jurgens, knowing full well, I want him to have some reps. And by the way, without disrespecting Jason Kelce, okay? And I'm not going to play him at guard. I'm not going to put him in a position to fail. You start playing him at guard and he starts getting killed, I don't want to confuse the kid. I want him to be under the tutelage of Jason Kelce, who's going to Canton. By the way, something really cool on my Twitter. Those of you not following me, the Hall of Fame just started following me today. The Pro Football Hall of Fame just started following me on my Twitter at Dan Sileo Show. Jones says where he can learn from Jason. Put him at right guard. Man Down says, do we have a replacement for Brooks? Dickerson played guard. His best chance at start is at right guard. Otherwise, he'll be Kelce's backup. That's a tough one. Someone asked me, Sills, how do you get Cam Jurgens in? Dickerson was center, and they moved him to the left side. Yeah, but Paul, Dickerson's an enormous man. He can handle that with his size. Jurgens isn't the biggest dude. He's kind of built in the same light as Jason Kelce. 6'2.5", 6'3". Are you really going to take a guy out who's 6'6" and move him over to the right guard position? I think Seumalo is going to win that thing hands down. From what everyone's saying, he's a gargantuan man. They love his ability. And I think Seumalo is going to win that thing. And it's not going to be close. And you're going to have, by the way, did you see what Pro Football Focus did? Pro Football Focus has said that the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line is the number one offensive line in pro football as of May 31st. NJ Fishing Maniac. Split reps. Eastside Monster. How do you do that, though, when you're tied in a game in the second quarter? Paul says Seumalo might be traded. No, I'm not trading a guy when I have an open position at guard. And I'm looking at the right guard position, and I think he could be my guy. I mean, you're going to go like this. Watch this. You're going to be going like 6'5", 6'6", 6'3", 6'6", 6'8". Across that old line? Holy cow. Jalen Hurts is going to have to go back to a 9-step drop just to see over those dudes. That is an enormous offensive line. I mean, you're talking about not only it being, you know what's really incredible about this offensive line? The depth. Seumalo's going to step right into right offensive guard. You got a guy who right now we're talking about taking over for a Hall of Famer. The one thing that the Philadelphia Eagles have done, which is remarkable, that the Giants haven't done for 7 years. You guys have had an O-line in Philadelphia since 2000. It has been the benchmark of your franchise. Do you know how hard it is to find 5 guys? Most people have 3 guys in their O-line. What you have done with Howie Roseman and his talent evaluators by having that setup like that is unbelievable. It's not great. It's unbelievable. I say developing an O-line in today's NFL, Okay, today's NFL is just as hard as developing a quarterback. Finding 5 guys, that's why you don't see them on the open market. You don't see them on the open market as much as you have in the past. Okay? It's insane. I saw Pro Football Focus, and it was like, dude, number 1. The Bucks are up there, the Packers are up there, the Browns are up there. But the grade that the Eagles have, and it's right, the best O-line in pro football. Dude, that is some statement. You know what? Watch this. What would you rather have, the number 1 O-line or the number 1 defensive line? You give me that number 1 O-line any day. Any day. Any day, man. I'm going to tell you how we're going to use Kelsey. We'll do that. We got a whole boatload of stuff, too. Oh, my God. By the way, I want to say this to you about something about Nick Foles. And I'm going to say this to you about Nick Foles. I want to hit on Nick Foles. I talked to Frank Reich. He's on vacation with his family, you know, and they're really happy to have Nick Foles in Indianapolis. I want to tell you what he told me that nobody knows. Okay? So we're going to hit on that. Please hit the like button. Keep it right here on the National Football Show.
After a car crash, the big insurance companies you see advertising on TV, they may try to downplay your case and might say it's only a fender bender or it's just a herniated disc. I worry that some law firms fall for this BS. Not us. We put ourselves in your shoes and ask, what would it be like to be in your pain for the rest of our lives? $1 million wouldn't be enough for me. There's only one Morgan & Morgan. ForThePeople.com.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you. 1, 2, 3. Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
Do you stream on a Roku, Fire Stick, Android TV, or Apple TV? Now you can watch 6ABC 24/7 with the 6ABC Philadelphia streaming app.
The big story on Activism.
Search 6ABC Philadelphia and start streaming today.
In Philadelphia, we celebrated the miracle with pride only 5 years ago. And then the following morning, IBEW Local 98 members went back to work, building this city, rescuing our communities from decay, and inspiring the young men and women of the region to take pride in who we are. Like the Cats, Local 98 members believe in hope.
To learn more about who we are, what we do, and career opportunities with Local 98, visit us, IBEW98.org.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass. Free.
What's that?
A rocks glass?
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that. Holy shit.
And you're telling me I can get one of these glasses for free?
That's right. 1 free rocks glass per customer with each first-time purchase of Stateside Vodka. So good, it just disappears.
Welcome back. National Football Show. It's your boy, Big Stills. I'll get to how we're going to see Cam Jurgens used. If you could do me a favor, please hit the like button. Thank you guys so much for coming aboard. God, we have so much to get to here. By the way, real quick, I'm going to hit on Gabe Kapler a little bit later about his anthem stuff and all that, but I want to ask you one question about Joe Girardi and the Phillies. You find it a coincidence that Kapler's having more success in San Francisco? Now, look, I'll tell you this. Dave Dombrowski, I've known for a long time. When I was down in South Florida, he was covering and working his magic with the Marlins. I get it. But don't you think there's a culture thing here? You think Joe Girardi just sucked overnight? Why do you think they're sucking in Philly? Culture. What have I told you since I came on JAKIB Sports? You haven't had a pitching staff or you haven't developed people on your farm since Charlie Manuel. Have I been wrong? Your pitching blows. You will never compete with the Braves. I would get rid of all the Bryce Harpers in the world for what they do in Atlanta with their pitching staff. Do you know what they invest in with the draft every year? Arms. That's a John Sherholtz benchmark. When John Sherholtz was the president of the Atlanta Braves, they don't go after position players. You know why? They think they're widgets. Here, let me give you an example of that. We're going to move on here in a second. Manny Machado, Nolan Arenado, and Bryce Harper. None of them have won shit. None of them haven't won anything. Bottom line here is Kansas City Royals have won a World Series. The Rays are constantly in competition because you know why? Their Durham farm system is the best in baseball. They can lose guys like David Price. They can lose guys like that, move them out, get draft choices, go into the draft, get arms or starters, whatever they call them. Dude, the Bryce Harpers of the world and paying $34 million a year, great. It gets you nothing. And I know this, it's boring to see Kansas City win a World Series, or it's boring. How does Milwaukee do it? How do the A's compete? A's, Brewers, Rays. How do they win when they don't spend the money and they find guys like Christian Yelich? Dude, Archer too. That's right, Randall. They dump those guys. It's a culture thing in Philly. Shitty development. You have no arms. All right, let me move on. I'm going to get to Kelsey here in a minute now. Please hit the like button, guys. All right. How many people think that Nick Foles has been a failure outside of Philadelphia? He's been pretty successful in Philadelphia, right? Will we not agree? Guy's been a star in Philly. He's been a star. I'm going to show you what career decisions do to careers. Okay? I'm going to show you what a career move can do to your career. Okay? How do you look at Foles? Do you think he's a stiff? Okay? Well, no, because chalk it up sports. I'm gonna make a point to you. Okay? I'm gonna make a point to you about Nick Foles. Watch this, Ian. So Jeff Fisher coached him at one time. Am I right with the Rams? Jeff Fisher, who's maybe one of the worst talent evaluators at the quarterback position for any coach in history. Thank God he had Steve McNair, because outside of Steve McNair, I don't know how he's got a job in the USFL. Look at what he was doing with the Rams. They bring in Sean McVay. They made Jared Goff a star. So this guy was coached by one of the worst head football coaches of all time. This is Nick Foles. Here, watch the guys. You know, we talk about Jalen Hurts being coached. Watch this. Even Xander's got to love this one. Watch this. So here's who Nick Foles has been coached. Jeff Fisher, one of the worst head coaches of all time. He's a media darling, whatever. Who was his coach when he took that deal in Jacksonville? Who was that coach? Who was the coach in Jacksonville? Who was the coach? What was it? Was it the old line guy? What was his name? It wasn't Urban. Who was the guy that was the coach there? The Syracuse offensive lineman. Doug Marrone? Was Doug Marrone his coach? Doug Marrone. So Jeff Fisher and Doug Marrone. Okay. Jeff Fisher and Doug Marrone. Who was Nick Foles' coach in Chicago? Matt Nagy? Just got fired, right? For a nobody. Uberfluss? So outside of Philadelphia, are you really telling me that Nick Foles has been coached by shitball Jeff Fisher, Doug Marrone, Matt Nagy? Oh, Chip, and Chip Kelly. Couldn't get out of his own way. At least Jalen's been coached by Lincoln Riley, Nick Saban, and Doug Peterson. Now he's got Sirianni. Look who Nick Foles has been coached by. Jeff Fisher, Doug Marrone, Matt Nagy, Chip Kelly. And the time he had a great coach, and Doug Peterson, he won a Super Bowl. And he had Frank Reich behind him. Look at the coaching that he had with those two dudes compared to the shitballs he had over here. All I'm saying is he took that money in Jacksonville, and that's all it was, because it was a career nail in his coffin. Now he's looked at as a backup. Now he's looked at as a substitute teacher. When in theory, who knows what he could have been? Who knows if the Eagles had said this? They got rid of Wentz anyway. Let's go with Foles. What that would have led to. Who knows? There could have been multiple Super Bowls. Multiple winning with Doug and with Nick. Okay? I always stand up, Kyle. Sitting down is for lazy people. Matt Nagy. W2. Am I right when I say this about Nick Foles? This guy's had shit coaching around him. Okay? This guy's had crappy coaching. Matt Nagy. Hey, W2, I don't even know why I do it that way. Matt Nagy. I don't know. Okay? I don't know why, man. Chip Kelly. Matt Nagy. Doug Marrone. Man, this guy's had some winners in his life. One ring in this city. Love you, Nick. That's Xander. Can you imagine if they would have given him the team? Okay. How many people look back on that move and go, how many people thought that Howie should have given Nick Foles, the team. Matt Nagy. How many people thought, were you in the camp? I went like this. I will not lie to you. And this isn't Monday Morning Quarterback. I swear to God, I went, so you're going to get rid of a guy who won you an NFC championship and a Super Bowl and the MVP, and I'll play Brady for a guy in Carson Wentz because you drafted him high. You know, Howie could have went like this. Well, look what happened in Washington. After RG3 got hurt, Kirk Cousins took over, and Kirk Cousins was actually the guy. I think he was a 4th rounder. Howie could have said, well, I did draft a guy, because he did draft Nick Foles. Charles says, I lose sleep over that, Sills. Sometimes the grass isn't greener for quarterbacks when they move. We've seen it before. Quarterbacks go other places. They don't win. Not everybody's Brady or Stafford. We see a guy go to a place and just completely shit the bed. I told Ike Reese to let Wentz go for Foles. He called me crazy. You're not crazy. Sean says, I love Nick Foles, but his injuries. But I would have kept him as the backup. Bad, but his contract was up. And look at the money he got from Jacksonville. It was almost like a Super Bowl payment, wasn't it? For what he did. I gotcha. Matt Nagy. I have no idea. You know what you've done now, W2? You've made me now. I'll be saying that in my sleep tonight. Matt Nagy. Ron says Foles is too hot and cold. You mean like Joe Flacco? How about this? Who do you think was a better quarterback, Joe Flacco or Nick Foles? If you had to have one of those two quarterbacks, who would you choose? I'd take Foles. Okay? Rico, that's a great take. Howie holds on to his – Howie, there lies the difference between Howie Roseman, Jimmy Johnson, and Bill Belichick right there. He does. And he not only holds on to his mistakes too long, but you know what else he does? Okay, he tries covering them. Now watch this. They go out and get A.J. Brown. Everybody's going to go like this now about Jalen Reagor. Until Justin Jefferson comes to town in week 2. Hey, man, Howie hates that the Vikings are on the 2022 schedule because he'll be reminded all week of that. And now that they're working on a contract extension, can I do that one more time? I got to do that one more time. Hold on here. I got to do that one more time. One more time. Hey, indulge me here. You know how I love Siri. This is great. Justin Jefferson stats. Oh, I got to do it one more time. This was too good, man. By the way, they're working on this. I heard the numbers. Okay, I heard numbers for Justin Jefferson. I'll tell you what they are here in a second. Hang on. Jay Fish and Maniac. Yeah, hold on. Sills, you're breaking up. Yeah. Sills, you're breaking up. Let me write this down. Hold on here. I'm going to give you what the number is. I found out over the weekend, over the Memorial Day weekend. They're working on a contract extension. Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, Eastside Monster. Okay. Week 2. Is that your home opener? Oh, okay. Let's see. Justin Jefferson. 292 catches. Wow. 3,060. 17 touchdowns. 50. Let's see here. But little 130. Let's hear our boy Jalen Rager. Rager said, hold on here. 64 catches. 695 and 3 TDs. Oh my God almighty, man. Wow. Hey, Howie. Woo! 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 All right. Wow. Xander, are we good with the connection? Should we take a time out here, Xander? Should we take a time out, brother? People are over here saying that there's a bad connection here. Should we take it? Okay, connection, he says, is fine. Okay. Says the connection's fine. So, hey, all I'm saying is that here's the number that's being thrown around for Justin Jefferson. Their starting contract, okay? Okay? You ready? $26.5 million per 3-year deal. 26.5 is what they're talking for Justin Jefferson per season. Okay? 26.5. It's because he stopped saying hey, $26.5 million per year over 3 years with a team-friendly option. Okay? This guy's going to be paid more money than the guy in Miami and the guy in Buffalo and the guy in Las Vegas. Williams says he takes a step back. Why would he take a step back? The new coach is an offensive-minded guy. Mike Zimmer wasn't. Why would Justin Jefferson and the Vikings take a step back when they've upgraded the team? Actually, they're my dark horse team in the NFC, and over in the AFC, the Chargers are my dark horse team to do some damage in both conferences this year. Dalvin Cook's got to be healthy. If Dalvin Cook is healthy, Justin Jefferson could have a Cooper Kupp season. And I know the sorry-ass Kirk Cousins that everyone says is sorry could probably throw for his 7th 4,000-yard passing season. Okay? 26.5. And get this, they may wrap that deal up by week 2, which is the home opener. In Philly. Man. 26.5. They would obviously extend it on his rookie deal, and there would be escalators because he's still on that rookie contract. Wow. Man, 26.5. And Howie wouldn't have had to pay $100 million for AJ. Think about that move financially for the Eagles too. Okay? He'd be working with a rookie contract right now with Justin Jefferson. He'd be working on that rookie deal still, and you'd be negotiating probably a team-friendly deal to keep him in Philly, and you would have been able to work a hometown cooking deal. And you'd have one of the top 3 receivers in the league. And you could spend money on a quarterback or go into the draft next year. Sandman says Kirk Cousins is the white Dak Prescott. Okay. 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 Same kind of talent. I think Minnesota has better talent than Dallas does. I think the Minnesota Vikings with Thielen and with Jefferson and with Cook and with Cousins, I think that's a better offense than the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. I'm good saying that. Okay. Yeah. How much does Kirk Cousins make? I think, if I'm not mistaken, Eastside Monster, I think he signed, was it a 4-year, $84 million contract when he left Washington? I think it was something like 87 or 84 million, if I can remember right. It was something in that conversation. By the way, that contract now is under market value. It's under market value now. Okay? Yeah, and Reyes, I never thought about it, but Dak and Cousins put up big numbers. Minnesota's got better people, though. Okay? Minnesota's got better people. Yeah. Yeah, but Smile, I also don't think the Cowboy O-line is what it was 3 years ago. Okay? I don't think the Cowboy O-line, they've lost guys and they're older. Zach Martin's not the same player he was 3 seasons ago. Okay, so I think that dynamic has closed more, and I think the wide receiving core in Dallas, watch this, CeeDee Lamb and the guy that's hurt that they got to wait until October to get back, and an overhyped and overrated Zeke Elliott. Right? I mean, I think Minnesota's got a better offense. How many playoff yards? I don't know that. I'll look that up. Yeah, Michael Gallup. They got to wait until October, I think it is, before they get that dude back. Charles, can you believe that? $26.5 million contract extension. They're now talking to his people. He's averaging over 1,500 yards a year in his first 2 seasons. He's got 3. You can say whatever you want about Kirk Cousins. Somehow, Justin Jefferson has 3,000 receiving yards. You could say all you want how much Cousins sucks. Jefferson doesn't. Jefferson's got 3,000 yards and 17 touchdowns. Okay? And 292 catches. This guy's almost got 150 catches a year. That's freaking unbelievable. That's unbelievable. This guy's averaging 145 catches. Is that right? He's got 292 catches in 2 seasons. That's a freak show. By the way, Jerry Rice didn't do that. I think maybe the only other guy possibly to do that has got to be Randy Moss. By the way, when everything's said and done, this guy may break Randy Moss's Vikings records, all of them. He may break all of them. He may just break every single one of them. By the way, don't forget, Gary Cobb, Fox 29 Philadelphia. He'll be at the bottom of the second hour, and we'll get his thoughts. We got a boatload of questions for him. So all good there. Please hit the like button, guys. Do me a favor. Check out my friends at Morgan & Morgan, where the fee is free. That means this. They don't get paid unless you do. Picking an attorney is one of the most important things that you can possibly do. And if you're hurt or injured on the job, Morgan & Morgan is there for you. For the people, it's not a slogan. It's who they are. It's what they do. When size matters the most, when you're talking about going into a courtroom, Morgan & Morgan is the biggest casualty law firm in the United States of America. Nobody's bigger, and no case is too small. This is what Morgan & Morgan does, my friends. They do this. For the people, like I said, it's not a slogan. It's who they are. For the last 30 years, they've collected over $13.5 billion in settlements for their clients. You heard me right. $13.5 billion they've collected for their clients. If you have been hurt or injured on the job, these are the people to call. With over 800 attorneys in offices in Philadelphia, New York, in Florida, all across the country, Morgan & Morgan is there for you to get the job done. There's no such thing as a fender bender when it comes to Morgan & Morgan. The call is free, 800-512-1600. That's 800-512-1600. The consultation is free, 800-512-1600. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, they are open. And when you call Morgan & Morgan, do me a favor, tell them Big Sills sent you.
Many times when people are injured at a place of business, they don't realize they may have a case. The fact is, injuries should not happen. And most of the time when someone is injured, someone is at fault. Maybe the store manager installed a cheap, slippery floor, or there wasn't proper security. After an injury at a hotel, restaurant, store, or any place of business, it's so important to call us. Time matters, size matters. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.com.
Go for the polls and the pools. Go for the oohs and the ahs. Go for the bubbles and the bubbly. Go for the story and the stories. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on three. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass, free.
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
At Action News, we cherish every moment, and it's our profound responsibility to bring you closer to your world. Never miss a moment. Trust the people at Action News.
All right, did you know I was the Mommy Slam Dunk Champion?
Really?
Yes, really, don't sound so surprised.
Let's see it.
Oh, you're ready. All right, here we go. Let's hear the crowd. So go to right, I go to left, I fake a mom. Mama, go up, mama!
She did it.
Again? You can't avoid gravity, but United Healthcare can help you avoid financial surprises by helping you compare costs and doctor quality ratings. United Healthcare.
Uh-huh. Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
Hour number 2, Big Sills National Football Show. Our boy Gary Cobb will join us at the bottom of the hour at 4:30 Eastern Time. Little programming note, I believe we are getting Doc Rivers tomorrow. And we will talk to our friend, the head coach of the Philadelphia 76ers. He's on vacation with his family, working on Doc Rivers for tomorrow. So keep that as a programming note. Please hit the like button here. I'm going to get to Jalen Hurts here in a second. I'm also going to get to Bryce Young. I don't think Xander's going to like this take on Bryce Young, but I'm going to throw it out there, and we'll get your thoughts. By the way, is that right, Randall? Look at this here, man. I didn't realize that DK Metcalf had 3,100 yards in his first 2 seasons. Those are his first 2 years, plus 29 touchdowns. That's awful impressive. That's incredible. That's incredible. Okay, DK Metcalf, those are his first 2 seasons. Okay, that's got to be 3 years. That's his first 2 years in the league. We'll have to look that up to confirm that. So you're telling me he's got more touchdowns than Cooper Kupp does. Wow. Okay. It's 3 years, dude. I said Justin Jefferson's first 2 years of his career. That's 3 years. It's not 2 years. It's 3 years. Anyway, let's move on here. Maybe I'm wrong here from the last hour. How many people think Jalen Hurts is a star? Do you think Jalen Hurts is a star? Hey, for the record, I think Kirk Cousins is a star. Okay? You think Jalen's a star? Kyle says, star? No, not yet. So you're assuming he will be after this year a star. Because nobody thinks outside of Philadelphia he's a star. Okay? Rising star. By the way, always know this. I'm picking the Philadelphia Eagles to win the NFC. So this is no shade. I'm asking you what you think of your quarterback. Nobody outside of Philadelphia thinks he's a star. Nobody. They think he's a star person. By the way, sometimes I'd rather be the underdog. Brady's been an underdog his entire life. Tom Brady doesn't play football with a chip on his shoulder. Tom Brady plays football with a lumberyard on his shoulder. That guy's got a lumberyard. Okay? He's got a lumberyard. Every draft, he puts that picture up. He reminds people where he was drafted all the time. I think one of the things that kills Tom Brady the most is that people didn't see him as a first-round draft talent. I was drafted ahead of him. Okay? I was 56. He was like 2-something or whatever it was. Whatever the hell he was. Okay? Oh, I think that bugs him a lot. He won a lot of that 1 year that he played, he won a lot of games that season at Michigan. And nobody thought he was anything coming out of Michigan. Skip likes Hurts. Yeah, because Skip wants, you know why Skip likes Hurts? Because Skip knows that Dak Prescott will not live up to that contract that he signed. He's never going to live up to that contract. Dak Prescott will never live up to that contract. Because, why won't Dak Prescott live up to that contract? Because nobody in Dallas that Jerry signs lives up to the money he gives them. You have to go back to Jimmy Johnson's guys, right? Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, Charles Haley brought in. Nobody had. Tony Romo probably has lived up to his contract. And the reason I say that, Romo was undrafted. Tony Romo was an undrafted free agent. So his expectations on what he did and what he accomplished in Dallas is unbelievable, actually. Yeah, but 00. Tony Romo, the difference here was Romo was undrafted. He was an undrafted free agent. Nobody thought shit of him. Okay? John says if Lamar Jackson can improve his accuracy, I think Jalen can too, especially with those horses. So you think Jalen Hurts has the same athletic ability as Lamar Jackson? I do not. Okay? I need to know if he called Kirk Cousins the white Dak Prescott. It's all in jest, my friend. It's all in jest here. Let's not get our panties in a bind. Okay? This is not Twitter. This is not the Republican or Democratic convention. It's all in fun here. This is not WIP. This is not the Sports Fanatic, not WFAN. Nobody gets their butt hurt here. It's all good. Okay. Brady sucks. Okay. Brady sucks? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't look at Jalen as a star either. Not yet. Accuracy, yes. I think he can match Lamar. Well, then you would have an MVP. I do not think he's got the same athleticism or the abilities of Lamar Jackson. By the way, Lamar Jackson is a former Heisman Trophy winner too, and succeeded and did great things at Louisville. It was the NFL that didn't think he could do it. Okay? It was the NFL. And in his second year, he won the Most Valuable Player Award. Do you know what Jalen has to do to accomplish the things that Lamar did in his second year starting? He's got to lead the NFL in passing touchdowns and win the Most Valuable Player Award and rush for 1,100 yards. You think he's capable of that? How about this? Since you're comparing him to Lamar, you think he's got the ability to lead the NFL in touchdown passes, rush for 1,100 yards, win 14 ball games, and be the MVP? Do you think he's got? Bill Polian is a racist. Maybe you should try wide out. Maybe you should try another position. Don't tell a quarterback that, especially a black quarterback especially a black quarterback that's an accomplished player like that. Don't talk to players like that. If he feels he's a quarterback, he's a quarterback. Why would a guy say that? You know, he refused to run at the combines, did Lamar Jackson, because he didn't want to show everyone how fast he was. Do you know even my friend Tom Telesco said you should play another position? Dude, don't, especially black quarterbacks, don't ask him to play other positions. It comes off as a racist statement, and you may not be racist. But don't throw that out there. Okay? You see what they're doing now in New Orleans? They finally had their come to Jesus conversation with Taysom Hill and put him at halfback, which he is. But they still tried him at quarterback to the failure of the franchise and to the money that they gave him. But they still at least gave him a chance to succeed at the position. Bill Polian and other general managers didn't even want to give Lamar that ability. If it wasn't for John Harbaugh and everyone in that organization like Ozzie Newsome going, I don't know. And even my dumb ass said, I don't see it. Okay? You know, hey, AZ, I should back that up. I don't know if Bill Polian's racist or not. I shouldn't say that. But it was a racist comment. You know, you can make a racist comment and not be a racist. Just not knowing the room. Does that make sense to you? I don't know Bill Polian from a can of paint. Okay, so I shouldn't say that because I wouldn't want anyone saying that about me. So I'll back that up. But I'll say this. Don't tell a black quarterback to try another position before you've even seen him play. The hell kind of comment is that? Can't be doing that, man. Give him his chance. Give him his opportunity. Okay? Hey, I want to finish up the Kelsey conversation. I would play Kelsey 90% of the plays in every game, but I would get at least 10% of the snaps for Cam Jurgens. Somehow, some way, get him in, and it's going to be up to Jeff Stoutland, who I'm very, very sure that he'll figure out a game plan on how to get the kid some snaps. Okay. Late in games, maybe when you do have a lead or when you're behind, you get him in there and you start getting him snaps, knowing that he's the heir apparent. I think that's kind of how you do it. But he's got to get some snaps this year. I just don't want him going in next year cold. Plus, then you know what you get? You get him on film, and then you get Kelsey in games where you can go back and forth and Kelsey can help the kid. And Kelsey and him could go over technique and they could talk, but you got to at least get him in 10%. Okay? Wow. Randall, is that right? The Buccaneers got 1 year, $10 million for Akeem Hicks playing right next to Vita Veda because they obviously are not bringing back Adama Sue. Wow. Dan, you are wrong. Jalen Hurts has much upside, if not more than you think he has more upside than Lamar? Dude, he couldn't. Look, not going to sit here first day back on May 31st talking shit on Jalen. We'll find out if that's right. Because if you have Lamar Jackson in Philadelphia, you're the luckiest team on the planet to get him in the second round. Okay? Okay? Just to say that Jalen Hurts has got more talent than Lamar and he's got more upside, he's wishful thinking. However, I'm going to leave it there because he may go out. He's got to throw. Okay, in his second year here, he's got to win 14 games like Lamar did, rush for 1,100 yards, and throw for 36 touchdowns. Okay? We shall see. That's right, Jeremiah. And win 14 games. They went 14-2 that year. They went 14-2. He rushed for 11-14, threw for 36 touchdowns, which led the NFL. Okay? Okay? All right. This is going to be to my boy Xander. You know this this nil rule? You know the nil rule? Okay, name, image, and likeness where players can make their money. Let me say this to you. If I played at Alabama and I made All-American like Will Anderson, I'd go in the transfer portal every year. Highest bidder. And don't give me shit about players doing this because coaches do it every year. Brian Kelly, Mario Cristobal, Lincoln Riley. If those dudes can do it, so can I. Me, if I'm Bryce Young, I'll go into that transfer portal. Or if look, Caleb Williams did it. But I would do it every year with no intention of leaving. I'd walk into Nick Saban's office. You want to know where the gap is in this rule now? Here's the gap in the rule. Are you ready? I walk into Nick Saban's office and I start doing this. Coach, here's my family representative. He's my preacher. And he's like Richard Williams, the Williams sisters' father. And he walks in and he goes and looks at Nick Saban and says, my son don't want to leave the best program in the country. What's your offer? Nothing. Coach, we love it here, but we're going to go into the transfer portal and see if somebody offers me more money than I'm making right now, which is $3.5 million. Can somebody match 3.5? You can back the offers up over here. With Oregon money, this is the new opening in this thing that people haven't, because of the transfer portal. The coaches fear this transfer portal more than even the money, Because now with the combination of the transfer portal and the money, I'm going to walk in and I'm going to go like this to Lincoln Riley at USC, Mario Cristobal at Miami, James Franklin at Penn State, the big attendance programs in the Big Ten, like Ohio State. I'm going to go into Ryan Day's office and go like this if I'm CJ Stroud. Hey, the fear is this year's quarterbacks are going to be trash. All 7 of them, Randall? Well, Bryce Young's making 3.5 this year. Nick, you tell me, Nick, can you top it? You're going to have Alabama people. Dude, players are going to start making NFL money. Do you know Jalen Hurts makes more money? Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I got it wrong. Guys, Chris, watch this. Jalen has one of the best work ethics. That is check off. You're in the NFL, Chris. You don't get patted on the back for that. You don't get patted on the back for having a work ethic in the NFL. Well, you're giving it's like thanking somebody for not robbing a bank. One thing you cannot deny, it's the NFL. How the hell did he get? It always starts off with that. Do you know that Bryce Young makes more money than Jalen does? By double. He makes $1.2 million this year. Or maybe it's 1.5. Bryce Young makes $3.5 million. If I were anybody on that Bama or Texas A&M or LSU team, okay? If I was on any of those teams, I would walk into my coach's office and ask if you can double this salary because I'm going to go into the transfer portal. Joey, thank you. My daughter's team finished 4th in the country behind Lindenwood, Life, and Penn State. Joey, I told my daughter this, though. Okay? Welcome to the group. Penn State beat them for 3rd place. We got to be Penn State, man. She's my last hope. Hey, she's my last hope to beat Penn State, man. We can't have both Sileos losing to Penn State. We cannot, man. Okay? We cannot have that. Great. You don't give Jalen enough credit. Credit for what? Showing up on time? Working hard? Those are givens. Okay? Those are givens. I'm not giving somebody kudos for showing up in shape, working hard, and studying hard. You're in the NFL. You think people at Apple or Google or Amazon, hey, man, thank you for showing up on time. You know that program that you put in the other day? You know that standardized program? That shipping assignment that you sent to Columbus, Ohio instead of Columbus, Georgia? Even Tommy Boy got it wrong. Congratulations to you. Congratulations. Unbelievable. You got the shipping order right. Congratulations, Jalen. That's wonderful. Oh, you worked hard. Hey, Jalen gets the award today for the hardest worker. Congratulations. Take a picture with the rest of the group. This is what you get when you work hard here on the Dan Sileo show. Because people want to give them, hey, this is the working hard. Show up on time. Yeah, here. Here's the working hard, showing up on time, and not messing up an order trophy. Congratulations. I want to thank everybody for saying that I work hard. I show up on time. And, you know, I'm not screwing anything up. Thank you very much. It's wonderful. It's great. Oh, man. Hey, wait, before I bring Gary Cobb in, I got to say it one more time. So you want me to give credit for a guy showing up on time and working hard? Dude, hey, here. Once again, thank you very much. This is the trophy that they give at Amazon or at Apple. Yes, I'm working very hard. I'm staying extra, and I'm doing my due diligence. I didn't get the order wrong. I got the iPhones out. I sent them to South China instead of Taiwan. I got it right. And I want to thank everybody for saying that I worked my ass off. Thank you so much. It's great. You don't get pats on the back in the NFL for that. Let's bring in my friend Gary Cobb from Fox 29. Gary, you don't get credit for working hard and showing up on time in the NFL. Man, that's a given, especially at the quarterback position.
Without a doubt. I mean, it's, when people start talking that way, I just back off because, it's you got to produce. You got to produce on the NFL level, especially at the quarterback position, especially when you got all these elite quarterbacks. That's what it is. Everybody that signed up for it and want to play quarterback, they know there's a lot of pressure on that position, a lot of requirements, and really the game today has gone up higher because the quarterbacks are protected. They're protected by the rule book, and you got some elite guys there that have taken things up a few notches. And, we usually applaud that when things are taken up a few notches with regards to quality of play. So, hey, this is the rules. This is what's set up. And you got to be able to compete with the big boys. What they say, if you can't run with the big boys, then grab a seat over
there. Gary, what did you make of Chris Sims's here was my problem ranking him 25th. Chris Sims had Daniel Jones and had Justin Fields, and he had Zach Wilson ranked ahead of him.
Yeah.
That was my problem. Do you think that the national perception of Jalen Hurts is he's not a stiff, but they don't really have a high opinion of him as the future of the football team? And right, am I right when I say that?
Well,
that really the national perception is not very strong on him.
I don't know if it's the whole national perception. I think that they do look at him and he's not on that elite level. I mean, and he hasn't performed on the elite level. I don't think he would say that he's performed on the elite level, especially when you get in a playoff game like the one against Tampa and you don't get it done, and it looks like it's over your head right now. See, that's what we saw in that Tampa game. And a lot of times once you get into the big game, that's what everybody says, okay, it's on the line. Can you compete with the big boys? And he was not able to get it done. So I think in fairness, and I would think that we sat him down and say, hey, what are the things you need to improve on? I think if he were honest, he might not want to do this publicly, but he would, if the coach is critiquing him, he'd come in and admit, hey, this is where I'm at. This is what I've got to do better if I want to run with the big boys. And now we're going to see if he can, because he's got the weapons. Now he's got to be able to come out, take that short throw when it's there, boom, confidently do it. We've seen the great guys go out there right away. They start off short. They get into a rhythm. Bing, 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 bing. Hey, score. Bing, 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 bing. Score. We've seen these guys do that. I mean, how many times have we seen Brady do that? Same thing with Aaron Rodgers. Go out there, just pick the other team apart because they come out, they know what you're going to be in right away. When they come up to the line, they know what you're in. They know the defense you're playing. So then they're able to attack areas of weakness in that defense, and they do it very confidently. And it's like it's not even a big deal. You don't even see a lot of celebrating because they're going, look, we're picking you apart, man. This is not, we knew we were going to do this. And see, once you start getting to that kind of confidence where quarterback comes out there and everybody's expecting, the defense is getting ready to get sliced up. So he gets the slicing with his knife. Guys are yawning on the sideline. Hurry up and get this over. This thing is not even, nobody's celebrating a lot in the end zone. When they score, hey, good one, come back, a little tap, That's when we know, when they start getting into, when he can flow like that, bing, 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 he's got to know. And really, one of the big things, which is really not, it's not that hard to do, But seems like a lot of people have trouble with it, which is take the check down, man. Don't force it. Take the check down. If they're giving that to you, boom. You get it to the guy quickly. You throw an accurate throw. A good running back catches it on the run, and that's a tough tackle. He's going to get 8, 9, 10 yards a lot of times. Brady has mastered that. Rodgers has mastered that. The great quarterbacks, they're able to do that. I mean, and then they're able to be patient. See, can you be patient? Because you can't be turning the ball over. You don't get to join the club if you're turning the ball over.
Gary, how about this one here? What player on that offense, not named Jalen Hurts, has to have a giant year for this team to reach all the goals that they want? What player do you look at? Is it the group of the O-line? Is it Dallas Goedert? Is it A.J. Brown? Is it Devontae Smith? Who, in your estimation, do you think has to have that year for this team to reach those goals and really those predictions that people are saying this team could potentially have in 2022?
Well, I think, A.J. Brown needs to play like he's capable of playing the way he's been playing. If he has a big year, it really is going to put defenses in real bad position because they've got such a running game with that offensive line. And so if you're not stopping him, it's going to be trouble for a defense because a lot of times you got to commit one way or the other. If you're going to commit to double teaming a wideout, then you really can't put a defense together that's really strong against the run. You really got to choose one or the other. That's why I think he was such an excellent acquisition because he's so strong that he's a very tough one-on-one matchup for a lot of the cornerbacks, meaning that he gets the ball in his hands. However, now they got their work cut out for him to get this guy on the ground because he's a grown man. He's really a running back. He's like a big, strong running back. So when he gets the ball out in open field, he's the worst kind of guy. You got to tackle this guy. This guy can straight arm you anytime. If you don't get him good, he's gonna run through your tackle and everything. So I think that if they are able to get the ball in his hands, because a lot of times you can do it where you don't even really need anything elaborate. Just get the ball in his hands with the blocker in front of him a lot of times. So like those quick screens and stuff, he's going to be tough to deal with on that, especially when you got that running game staring at you. So it's a lot of times you got to pick a defense that's going to take one of them away. You're going to either double him or you're going to say, okay, we're going to stop this running game. But it's going to be very difficult to do all of the above. And then with some of the other guys they got out there, all they got to do is just be efficient. Take what people give. Take what they give you. Don't be trying to force things. And that's what Jalen, man. Take what they give you. You don't need to be really forcing anything in, because if you take what they give you, you got people and they're running backs. And that's one of the things they should be working on it, where they can get the ball and throw accurate, catchable balls to your running backs, because if they catch the ball on the run, it's very difficult. I mean, we've seen this with the great quarterbacks. Montana used to do this. He was the first to do that, where he's just throwing little check downs, but he throws them accurately, gets the ball to the guy on the run. And those are tough plays for guys to tackle the guys without them getting any decent yardage. And if you stay out of the third and longs, you stay out of those, it's a lot of pressure on the defense. Really tough. But if you are forcing things and you're getting sacked, you're holding on to the ball, you're not taking what they give you, then you wind up getting sacked. Now it's third and long. Third and long, a defense can get off the field on third and long. Third and short, if a good offense is hard to get off the field on third and short.
Gary, who do you have more questions for this year? Nick Sirianni or Jalen Hurts?
Well, it's probably Jalen. I mean, I think it's almost like— Do you
still have question marks on Nick?
I got question marks on Nick. I do have question marks on him because, I think that some of the things he said, like he's got to have a hand on the defensive side of the ball. He can't just say, hey, this other guy's coaching the defense. Look, you're the head coach. you're charged of the defense too. You got to know what's going on over there. I thought sooner he could have put some pressure on them to say, hey, look, we got to tighten things up over there. And, you know, sometimes you got to go in the post-game news conference or the Monday. He's got to come out and he got to call it like it is, you know, on the defense because he's in charge of both. So I do have questions for Nick. It's just that Jalen's part is I think, more important because I think Nick has shown us that, you know, he has a certain level of expertise. And then it's just a matter of execution because
you know, Gary, you mentioned the most important thing that a quarterback can have is patience, and that's the one thing. Like, you know what? When I think of Brady, and I think of Rodgers, and then I look at even Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
Patrick Mahomes and Rodgers don't have the patience that Brady has.
You're right.
Like you said, Brady will take a 3 and out. He'll take a punt, and he'll think that that's a positive play, whereas those other two will look at it as a failure. I'm wondering if Syria, because I think Jalen's got the patience to understand that.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if a guy who's more comfortable, because remember, here was the offensive coordinator when Phillip Rivers was in Indy, and they won 11 ball games throwing with that style, and that style pretty much is what he's comfortable in. Is he also going to have the patience to be able to stick with that style? Because you would agree there's going to be a lot of 3 and outs early when we're looking at the development of Jalen and what they're going to try to accomplish. Because if they're going to move off of running the ball 38 times, Gary, you got to be patient because there's going to be 3 and outs with A.J. Brown out there. If you're trying to get him targets, there's going to be double teams out there.
Yeah.
You're going to have a lot of patience in here with this offense.
Well, I would agree. But see, I think, though, and this is where we're getting in again, we get back to Jalen, where a lot of times what they do now is they let the quarterback pretty much call the plays. So that means he comes up, okay, they're stacked up against our running game. Okay, I'm going to take this out here. I'm going to go ahead and take 5-6 yards. Now, you got to be accurate with the throw. But a lot of times he's going to be calling the play at the line of scrimmage, you know, and he can change things, you know, early in the downs, you know. So that's why the quarterback, see, because a lot of times the quarterbacks like Brady and, you know, the guys with the experience, they really let them call the plays. I mean, he called the play at the line of scrimmage. They have a lot of check with me's now so that the defense is really in a situation where they got to commit. If you go 3 wide out, okay, you pretty much is a guarantee that you're going to say, okay, we're really playing a pass defense right now. Okay. Now, the Eagles love running in that situation. They figure, hey, you put those guys out there, we can run the ball on you all day long. Now, that's the kind of situation where I think they're ready to do that right now. I don't think there's going to be, you know, where this offense starts off and they're struggling now. I think that they are comfortable because they really, with A.J. Brown, they really put defenses really in a tough situation because they're going to have those quick screens all year for him. You know, and a lot of times they'll call that the line of scrimmage. If you got 2 guys over there, hey, they feel good. One guy's playing off. We feel good about throwing A.J. Brown the ball. Now that little DB's got to tackle him. So that's tough because Tennessee did a lot of that with him too because he really puts a lot of, you know, strain on the defense because he creates matchup problems because he's so strong that, you know, you need a linebacker to tackle a guy like A.J. Brown, you know, because he's so big and strong. A DB, he's going to have a struggle getting him down, especially without letting him gain some. He's going to gain some yardage.
Let me throw this at you, Gary. A couple last questions here for you here. I had Hollis Thomas on this last Friday, and this is the first time I had ever heard this. And I asked him about Andy Reid, and Hollis called him snake shit and said that he was a guy that was kind of a bullshit artist. And, you know, he had his guys in the room sometime, and he would say one thing and do another. And one of the issues that he had was once Andy had a little say and more say in Philly when it came to personnel, that's when the football team started going the other way. And he's seeing the same thing going on in Kansas City. that there's clearly lesser talent today than there was when they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, true.
I want to get your thoughts on that. I mean, he's the first player I had ever heard that played for Andy that had any kind of negative comments about him. It could be a disgruntled player. We know this. Sometimes, if you have 52 guys, not everybody in the building is going to be happy with
That's
you.
right.
So
Yeah.
it could be that. And I'm not dismissing anything he's saying because that's his personal relationship with him. But just as an overall look, how was Andy Reid, you think, received with players in that locker room in his tenure there?
Well, for the most part, he was in good, he had a good relationship with all the guys, I don't think with everybody, but he clearly had good relationship with guys. I don't know that I would say through a whole roster that he had the great ability to evaluate all the positions, but he knows quarterbacks.
Did he ever say on defense? Did he do one of the things that I can tell you don't like?
Yeah.
That he left the defense to Jim Johnson.
Yeah, he did do that.
He handled the offense, and he had more of a relationship with the offensive guys, and that's maybe kind of sometimes what you're talking about, where a coach has to be vested on that other side of the football for them to be really on the same page. Maybe that's what we're talking about here. Do you agree?
I would agree with that. He's the offensive guy. There's no doubt about that. And he left the defense up to Jim Johnson, and without a question, he was closer. There were some of the star players like, Brian Dawkins and a few other guys he was close to, but he really was close. He's an offensive guy. That's his mind all the time. People talk about him drawing up plays in the middle of the night. He's drawing up plays. He's that kind of guy. Give him a good meal, and he's drawing up plays, and he's happy. That's what Andy was, and so without a doubt, he's more of an offensive guy, and the defensive guys are not going to be as close with him and everything. But the thing with Andy is you win, and it's all about winning. That's why I could understand him stepping back. Now, ultimately, he was calling the shots, but he wasn't doing the detail on the defense. He was designing the offense. He was deciding on what was going to happen to do with the offense. He lived, ate, and breathed offense. So that's without a doubt, he was not working as much with the defense.
Finally here, I asked Hollis this question too, and I'm going to ask you. You think there's
now? Did you get Hollis any food?
Well, I'll tell you what, man. Between me and him, I think we could tip the Toledos.
Hey,
dude, we might be giving money back.
Hey, hey, Hollis can put it away.
No, he was telling me, he goes, hurry up, I want to get this done because I want to make me an egg sandwich with some sausage. And I said, hey, we got 2 more questions here. But hey, finally here.
Yeah.
What had better personality, the vet or the Linc?
Well, the vet had more personality. I mean, the vet was just, damn,
the Linc gets no love. I've asked everybody, they go, the Linc gets no love.
Now, going to see a game, of course, I'd rather see it in the Linc. Really, because it's more comfortable. But if you want to talk about intimidating the other team, and having them come in and they're going like, oh man, we got to get out of here, man.
Hey Gary,
they didn't like playing
rip in the middle of the carpet, and then when you go downstairs to those locker rooms, I'm like, hey man, this is like. Why do I feel like I'm at Rikers Island here, man?
Hey, and you could run into a few rats and cats and all kind of stuff down there. You're gonna see. So it definitely is the kind of thing where the guys going like, man, let's play this game and get out of here, man. And then of course the fans they greet the other bus. Somehow they must give out some kind of information of when the bus is coming in. This is what it's gonna look like because they'll egg the bus and they're waiting for the other team to get off. They're yelling stuff out of, the lowest stuff they can yell. They're going
to. Wait a minute, they egg the buses?
That's right. And they're going to yell the worst stuff they can yell. They'll be going after people's kids and saying stuff about their wives and stuff. Just to get under people's skin. And I don't know where these evil fans come from, but some of them. They know how to get under people's skin, man.
Absolutely. Gary, I love you, man. Thank you so much for doing this, brother.
All right, have a good one.
You got it, man. So wait a minute. You guys egged the buses? So you egged the opponent's buses. Yeah, man. Hey, I posted a picture when they knocked the vet down. A friend of mine sent it to me. When they knocked the vet down, I got it on my Twitter page. Everyone's like, hey, man, that's like, hey, that rubble is like the ruins in Greece. Okay? Holy cow. Mike Maselli just announced he's leaving 97.5 today. Was his last show. Wow. That's a Joe Bell special, baby. You could bet your ass on that one. That's a Joe Bell special. Had to be money. Holy cow, man. Hey, friends, hang on a little bit more tidbit here. Oh, yeah, that's a Beasley special. That's how they do you. They usually would wait till Friday. Oh, yeah, losing money. That's a Joe Bell special, baby. Same guy was my boss in Miami. How you doing? You don't think he's getting a morning show at WIP, do you? Hey, my friends at Morgan & Morgan, where the fee is free. That means this. They don't get paid unless you do, my friends. If you're hurt or injured on the job, finding that attorney is one of the most important things that you can possibly do. And at Morgan & Morgan, that comment for the people, it's not a slogan. It is who they are. And for the last 30 years, who they are is collecting over $13.5 billion for their clients. Nobody does it better, and nobody is bigger than Morgan & Morgan. They are number one. And so when you're out there and you're looking to get the fair compensation for you and your family, with the over 800 army of attorneys that Morgan & Morgan has, nobody's going to fight harder for you than Morgan & Morgan. That's right. Offices in Philly, New York, Florida, all across the country. Morgan & Morgan is going to battle for you because this is who they are and what they do, folks. Look, the call is free. 800-512-1600. That's 800-512-1600. The consultation is free. Remember, size matters. There's no such thing as a fender bender at Morgan & Morgan. Open 24/7, 7 days a week. And when you call Morgan & Morgan, do me a favor. Tell them Big Sil sent you.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. When you're hit from behind in a car crash, the insurance company may try to say, you can't possibly be hurt. It was only a few miles an hour. It's simply not true. You see, here's the thing. Getting hit at 10 miles per hour is like falling off of this. 15 miles per hour, like this. And only 25 miles per hour, this. Injured, dial pound law. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
Go for the pulls and the pools. Go for the oohs and the ahs. Go for the bubbles and the bubbly. Go for the story and the stories. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on three. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass, free.
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
At Action News, we cherish every moment, and it's our profound responsibility to bring you closer to your world. Never miss a moment. Trust the people at Action News.
All right, did you know I was the mommy slam dunk champion?
Really?
Yes, really, don't sound so surprised.
Let's see it.
Oh, you're ready. All right, here we go. Let's hear the crowd. So go to right, I go to left, fake 'em out. Mama, go up, up, up.
She did it.
Again? You can't avoid gravity, but United Healthcare can help you avoid financial surprises by helping you compare costs and doctor quality ratings. United Healthcare.
Uh-huh. Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
Welcome back. National Football Show. It's your boy, Big Sil. Appreciate you guys coming aboard. Thank you so much. Please hit the like button. Hour 3's coming up here. That was cool. Gary Cobb stepping in with us. And again, tomorrow, I think we're getting on Doc Rivers. So I appreciate it. I was talking to Gary Cobb. And did I see people saying that Jalen Hurts is more exciting than Michael Vick? And that he's the best quarterback that you've had since Randall Cunningham? You don't really believe that, do you? You don't believe that Jalen Hurts is as talented as Michael Vick, do you? I'll lose respect for some of you if you think that. Michael Vick was a human highlight reel. And the best quarterback you've had in the Super Bowl era is Donovan McNabb. He's the best that you've had. Okay? And I would even say this. Carson Wentz is your only 4,000-yard passing quarterback. Jalen Hurts and his ability to throw for 4,000 yards is questionable at best. Okay? It's questionable. Wentz threw for 4,000 yards with no 1,000-yard receiver on his team. Gotta be insane. Michael Vick. You think a guy who lost his job in college and the national perception is decent, is a better player than a guy who many people thought at one time was the number one attraction in the NFL. You think Jalen Hurts makes you buy tickets? How about this? Let me ask you guys this. Let's be fair here. If I had a ticket on the table to see Jalen Hurts play, or a ticket on the table, or I left him at will call for you, what ticket would you take? The ticket to see, hey, Eric, if that makes you butthurt, later. If you're at will call and you're going to watch a game because it's an ignorant comment, you're going to do this. Buy a ticket, okay? Buy a ticket to watch one guy versus this guy. Who would you buy? Would you buy the ticket to see Michael Vick, or would you buy the ticket to see Jalen Hurts? I love Howie's take. Vick is old and can still throw further than Hurts now. Kyle, Vick all day. Are both guys on the Eagles? Yeah. My God almighty. Hey, nuts. You imagine Vick in this offense with that old line? I'm going to put down Vic's number. Oh, my God. That is a great, great take. Michael Vick with this current group that Pro Football Focus just ranked number 1. Here's my numbers that I think Vic would have. With today's NFL, too. I think Vic would throw for 4,300 yards, 36 touchdowns, and rush for 1,200 yards. I think I love, then again, I'm a Vic guy, man. I already said it, Eastside Monster. I'd play him 10%. Make sure somehow I got him into 10% of the plays. And because you have a coach and Jeff Stoddard, I think he'll be able to figure that out. But I'm going to try to get him into 10% of the plays each game this coming season. Vic could have 5,000 yards. You know what? And I was being conservative. Holy shit, Randall in this offense with this O-line that he never had in Philly. He never had a line like this in Philly. They wouldn't even get him. You heard Keith Byers. They tried to make a trade for Jim Lachey, and the owner wouldn't spend the money. Oh my God, that's as the topic maybe of the day. What would Carson Wentz do with this? Oh my God. Wait, I may have to do that one at the top. What would Wentz do with this offense? Oh, wait. What did he do with this offense? Hey, by the way, could somebody help me? What was Wentz's record when he got hurt in that Rams game? Hey, Brandon, Daz, you had to. What was Wentz's record? What was the Eagles' record when Wentz got hurt? Xander says 11-2. Wentz was 11-2. Wentz was 11-2 with that Super Bowl roster. He was 11-2. Well, and now A.J. Brown threw for 3,300 yards and only played in 13 games with – wait a minute. He threw for more yards than Jalen did. And he had 23 more – what? No, let's see. He had 16 more touchdowns, 17 more touchdowns. And he had 3 less picks. I'm going to need a little bit more. Oh, wait a minute. Xander goes, those stats are accurate, dude. I don't need another. Commander Carson. All right. Hour 3's coming up here. I got to get hour 3 in here. This is going to be a fun hour here. Hang on. Internet's probably going to go out. Two things to make my internet go out. You ready? Justin Jefferson and Carson or Commander Wentz. All right, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hour 3 coming up here. Yeah. Yeah.
When choosing a lawyer for your injury case, you may ask, does the size of the law firm matter? Well, of course it does. The insurance company, they're huge with unlimited resources. And whether your case is big or small, they're built to bully you out of the money you're owed. But here's the good news. We're big too, the biggest actually. And we're built to fight to make them pay for all that was taken from you. Size is our strength. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
Do you stream on a Roku, Fire Stick, Android TV, or Apple TV? Now you can watch 6ABC 24/7 with the 6ABC Philadelphia streaming app.
The big story on Action News.
Search 6ABC Philadelphia and start streaming today.
In Philadelphia, we celebrated the miracle with pride only 5 years ago. And then the following morning, IBEW Local 98 members went back to work, building this city, rescuing our communities from decay, and inspiring the young men and women of the region to take pride in who we are. Like the Cats, Local 98 members believe in hope.
To learn more about who we are, what we do, and career opportunities with Local 98, visit us, IBEW98.org.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass. Free.
What's that?
A rocks glass?
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that. Holy shit.
And you're telling me I can get one of these glasses for free?
That's right. One free rocks glass per customer with each first-time purchase of Stateside Vodka. So good, it just disappears.
Woo, baby, hour number 3. Hit the like button. Or you may not. I don't know. We'll reset here too, man. Holy cow. Holy cow. Yeah, baby. That's right. That's right. 215 says Big Sills doesn't have to be an Eagle fan. He talks sports and keeps it real for us. Prince, thank you so much, man. Michael Vick always had better receivers than Hurts, Dan. That's because Philadelphia doesn't have wide receivers. They have tight ends. You've never had a 100-catch guy in your team's history. Okay? Ever. They've all been the tight end guys. Okay? Again, my problem with Jalen's 25th ranking is that stiffs like Daniel Jones and Zach Wilson and Justin Fields are ranked ahead of him. Those guys are nobodies right now. Nobodies. Jalen at least got a Pro Bowl alternate, put his team in the postseason and won 9 games. These other guys haven't done shit. That was my problem with the list, honestly. I don't know. I probably would have had him somewhere between 15 and 25, somewhere in there. Okay? But to put those other stiffs ahead of him, that was my issue. Holy cow, you guys. Carson Wentz. Man, those are some amazing stats. So that wasn't even his 4,000 passing year? Wow. I gotta get Siri up here with that. But by the way, real quick, and I know this. Hey, by the way, This is not a political statement. I promise you. Xander, I swear. Okay? I swear. Guys, it's not. My only problem is with the Memorial Day weekend, why would Gabe Kapler take the Memorial Day weekend to make a political statement using the flag as a prop on Memorial Day? And I'm going to leave it here. The problem with baseball pulling the All-Star game, this kind of stuff, this is exactly why baseball struggles with fans. You may completely agree, okay? You may completely agree with Kapler, but why would you use the United States flag as a prop for your protest? I would say this to you. If you want to protest something, you know the greatest thing about Muhammad Ali? He never used boxing. And he never, in the squared circle, ever protested anybody. Ali never protested using his sport. You know what makes Muhammad Ali the number one sports figure in American history? He was not only the greatest of all time in his sport, but Ali, there were two Muhammad Alis. Muhammad Ali, the activist, and Muhammad Ali, the sensational athlete, gold medal winner, represented the United States of America. He never used boxing. Ali never protested in the ring at any time in his career. Athletes today are so insecure that they have to use their sport as a vehicle and a prop or a flag. That shows you that it's not genuine. These protests are not genuine because when you protest, you stand on your own merits, not on the back of Major League Baseball or the NFL or the NBA. You stand on your own merits. That's what Ali did. He stood on his own merits. I'm a fighter. I'm an activist. Kapler used the Memorial Day weekend and the United States American flag as a prop. I completely disagree with that, and it's disrespectful. There, it's said. Okay? We move on. Do me a favor, guys. Please hit the like button. By the way, I heard Todd bring this up. Make sure you get to JAKIBsports.com. Daily Eagle coverage. John McMullen's going to be covering it, and believe me, man, it's also, too, it's a vehicle for you to get to our shows and things that are on our shows. Another great platform here with JAKIB Sports. So I appreciate everybody now going over there and checking that out, too. So we got you covered, man, wall to wall here. So we really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Woke. You got the, hey, dude, you're not listening. Woke. Dude, I don't mind people protesting, Jeff. Just don't do it in my sports world. You got me woke. Furthest from that, dog. Wentz has 66 career fumbles. Okay, Drew. Let me see something here, too. Did that guy throw for 4,500 yards one year? Let me see Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz stats. This is crazy. Let me see something here. So he was 11-2 when he got hurt. Carson Wentz, 4,039. Let me get my glasses on for this. I highly disagree, but still hit the like button. Great. Great. That's great. I'm a fan of you now. Great. Thank you. Great's the kind of person I love on my show daily. Thank you, Great. That's my kind of sports guy. I highly disagree, but still hit the like button. Dude, you're dope. Thank you. And if you're over 50, dope in today's world's a good thing. 4,000, he had 27 touchdowns and So, like, the only year that Carson Wentz really had like a double-digit sack year or a double-digit interception year was his first year. So in Carson Wentz's first year starting, he had 3782 with 16 touchdowns. In his second season starting, he had 33 touchdowns. In 2017, that was the Super Bowl year. 33 touchdowns. So am I right when I say this? Carson Wentz, in his first 3 years in Philadelphia, had 16, 33, there's 49, then 21, and then 27. He had 99 touchdowns. 1, 2, 3, 4. Carson Wentz had 100 touchdown passes in his first 5 years. Can't be. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That can't be. 1, 2, 3, 4. In his first 4 years? That can't be. 9, 49, 21, 10, 5, 6, 7, then 27. He had 97 touchdown passes in his first 4 years. Who were his receivers during this time? Because how this started was, what would Wentz do with this team? Was that you, Daz? Was that you that said this? So Carson Wentz had 97 touchdowns. 1, 2, 3, 4 years. And he had So Carson Wentz had 97 touchdowns and 35 interceptions in his first 4 years as a starting quarterback in Philadelphia. Wait a minute. So you guys think Jalen Hurts is going to have 100 touchdown passes in his first 4 years? How many people do you think that Jalen Hurts is going to have 100 touchdown passes in his first 4 years? Fred, appreciate it. How many? Yeah, well, that team sucked too. Who was he throw? Let me see the wide receivers that were on that the year that he. And by the way, last year he was 27 touchdowns and 7 picks. On a better team. Let's see who he was throwing to when his last year in Philly in 2020. Let's see who was on that team that finished in last place. Who were his wideouts? Wow. Are you kidding me? Who are these guys? Who are these guys? The leading receiver on the team. The leading receiver on the team. Who is it? $53. Gary Ward? Gary? Wait a minute. Gary Ward? Who's that? Here's your leading receivers on that year that he threw for 15 picks. Gary Ward, Dallas Goedert, Travis Fulgham, who's it? Zach Ertz. Well, let me just go receivers. So your number one receiver was Gary Ward. Let's see here. Then it goes to the greatness of, no, that's a tight end. Here, who's the next receiver? Travis Fulgham. Something. Travis Fungul. Let's see. Is his name Fungul? Who's the hair? Another guy. I got another guy. Hang on. 36. No, that's Ertz. There's 28. Miles Sanders. Holy cow. Known as Travis Gabagool. So Travis Gabagool, Gary Ward, and Miles Sanders were the leading receivers on that team that he threw 15 picks. Holy shit. What a bunch of bums. Holy cow. Oh my God. Jesus criminy, man. Poor Carson. Oh my God. So the Gabagool crew is the year he threw 15 picks. Then he goes to Indy and goes 27-7. Yeah. Oh, in the year before, he had the 15 pick season in Philly. He threw for 4,039 with 27 touchdowns and 7 picks. Yep, and we crucified. Dude, Travis Gabagool. Travis Gabagool and Miles Sanders were your leading guys. Travis Gabagool. And no wide receiver over 500 yards. So let's get back to the question that was asked. Okay? Yeah, that's it, Thomas. I like those decent receivers. You know, it's always good to criticize a quarterback when you have decent receivers. No one's comparing Carson Wentz to Tom Brady. Okay? But decent receivers? If Jalen Hurts had that crew of Travis Gabagool and the rest of that crew, there'd be big problems. Travis Gabagool. Matt Nagy. Oh, man. Oh, mud on. Now, to get back to the question here. What would Commander Wentz do with this team? Pronounced Gabagool. Marin even comes in. So wait, your entire old line was out, and you had Travis Gabagool and Gary Ward. Oh my God, that's a collection of bums. It's a collection of bums. It ain't this group. This is the best hey, would we agree this is the best offense that the Eagles have had, I guess, since the Super Bowl? He would choke. He was 11-2. Nathan, he was 11-2. Oh, the greatness of Jalen Reagor. He was 11-2 when he got injured. So, if Carson Wentz had this group of wide receivers, running back, and O-line, what would he do? What would the record be? Well, according to the history of what he's done when he's had a good team around him, Carson Wentz would be 14-3. Travis Gabagool. Would Carson be 14-3 with that group? What would Wentz be with this group? Dude, those guys were bums, and you talked about a quarterback. Look, that year, his last year, and especially the last 6, it was, instead of seeing the worst 8 minutes of football that I saw last year in his career, his last year in Philly, and I'm being candid and fair here, his last year in Philly, those last 6 games were train wrecks. But he didn't have anybody on that team helping him. O-line's gone, decimated. The general manager was sabotaging the team, hence the last game of the year. He sabotaged that game. He sabotaged Doug Peterson. I don't care what you say. Nate Sudfeld. Okay, yeah, all right. He sabotaged that team for Doug Peterson, so they were going to fire him. Shit, man. Howie knew in the back of his mind he wanted him out. Howie in the back of his mind. Now, hey, Howie's done well, I don't know if he did the right thing because yet to be determined whether or not Nick Sirianni's the guy. You fired a guy that was the guy, and you fired another guy that was the guy. He's in Kansas City. Actually, you want to hear something about Chip? Chip's doing a pretty decent job at UCLA. They're actually better than Southern Cal. I think they'll have a better record this year at UCLA. He's actually kind of lifting up the expectations with the Bruins. He's actually rebounding there at UCLA. They beat the brakes off of LSU last year. A ton of kids got drafted out of LSU. Not a ton of guys got drafted out of UCLA, and he's starting to get kids in there again. I'm not saying he's going to be what he was at Oregon, but he's not sucking out loud at UCLA. Okay, and again, college and pro, I'm talking coaching. Okay, and that's probably more of it, Randall. He's not a pro coach. Even though his first 2 years in Philly, am I right when I say this? Correct me. He was 9-7. Was he not those 2 years, or was he? Did he have a 10-6 year in there somewhere? I thought he had a couple winning seasons in Philadelphia before the whole thing fell to pieces. Okay, I thought there were some winning football seasons up there. Now, again, probably because of what they had, with the success of the football team. He cut all the good players. That's a fact. That is an absolute fact. But I thought he had some winning. Okay? Yeah. James, so he had a 10-6 season. So why have I been led to believe that Carson Wentz has been awful in Philly? You guys have led me to believe that he was terrible. I want to take a look at that one more time here. Really? He was terrible? Carson Wentz stats. Let's see the winning. So what was his record? He was 68-68 in Philly in 5 years. His first 2 years, actually before it fell apart in 2020, let's do that. Before it fell apart, his first year they were 7-9. Then he went 11-2. He was 18-11. Then he went 5-6. I believe there were 2 NFC East titles, 2 in there. Then he went 9-7. That's 23, 17, so it's 24. He was 32-24 before the last year, before everything fell apart. And in that process, he threw for 3,782, 3,296, 3,034, 4,039, the only 4,000 passing year in Eagle history. Went for 26-20, and then rebounded this past season and threw for 35-63 with 27 touchdowns and 7 picks. And the quarterback rating, .94.6. He had 2 seasons of over 100. 1 season of 90. Had a QBR of 78.5, led the NFL in QBR in 2017. Carson Wentz led the NFL in QBR, finished 3rd in the Most Valuable Player Award, 2nd in the AP Award. First team all-conference in 17. Second team all-conference in 17 by the Associated Press. Okay? I got 32-24. Oh, that was game started. Yeah, I got 32-24, though, his record is. He was 7-9. He was 7-9 first year. Then he was 11-2. That's 18-11. Then he was 5-6. That's 23-17. Then he was 9-7. I'm talking about before the final year where the whole thing fell apart. He was 32-24 before the last season of 3-8-1. Okay. So Hurts has 31 turnovers in 19 games. Does he have that high a number, really? Wow, Razor. What would Wentz do with McVay? Whew. What would anybody do with McVay? Look what he did with Jared Goff. Jared Goff got to a Super Bowl. Jared Goff, I mean, he's as accomplished as anybody. I mean, he won an NFC championships, been to the Pro Bowl. Jared Goff did a lot with Sean McVay. He was never the same after the 17th season. You know what, Sean? I say this, Sean. I said this last week. I don't think Wentz has been the same since that concussion by Clowney. Okay? When it comes to confidence. His year last year wasn't terrible. I don't care what anybody says. I don't think Wentz was terrible last year. Okay? 27 touchdowns, 7 picks. It's a good season. You're clear 20? Dude, that's pretty good, man. That's 2-1 quarterback to interception ratio. His first year, he threw for 3,900 yards. That's pretty good. Wentz has always had the talent. Colts will do worse this year with Ryan. Wouldn't that be something? Boy, think about that. Boy, there's pressure. Here. The Eagles don't want to see Carson Wentz win the NFC East, right? Be a nightmare. What if the Commanders win the NFC East? Okay, that would be a nightmare. The Colts don't want to see Matt Ryan shit the bed and have a worse year than what Wentz did. Okay? You wouldn't want to see that. You got the Colts and the Eagles going like this. Wentz can't win the East. It is possible. They got a good football team. Okay? They got a good football team, man. Howie goes like this, besides Pittman. Yeah, man. Hey. The kid from Florida, I think at FAU. He I forget the wide receiver's name. I think he was hurt. Wentz has an elite arm. He just makes dumb. Dude, that Titans game last year was the worst 8 minutes of football I've ever seen. Just ever seen. He was terrible. I mean, that underarm thing, left hand, I'm like, we were talking to Gary Cobb last hour about stuff like that. Why in the world would you do anything like that? Spot, thank you so much. Guys, please hit the like button. Hey, guys, don't forget, Morgan & Morgan, our dear friends. Look, coming out of the holidays, if you're looking for an attorney, this is your people. And these are the people that you will need. The fee is free. That means this. If you're hurt or injured on the job, they do not make money unless you make money. That's what Morgan & Morgan has done for the last 30 years, collecting over $13.5 billion for all of their clients. For the people, not a slogan. I remember when John Morgan was putting this company together. We go back 25 years, John Morgan and myself. And I've watched him build this company. And you know how he's built it? Making sure that families get the fair compensation if you've been hurt or injured on the job. That's what Morgan & Morgan is all about. For the people, like I said, it's not a slogan. With over 800 attorneys and offices in Philly, New York, Florida, no case is too small for them. There's no such thing as a fender bender when it comes to Morgan & Morgan. They will fight for you and your family. Look, the call is free, 800-512-1600. The consultation is free, 800-512-1600. I promise you, when you call Morgan & Morgan, open 24/7, 7 days a week, you'll understand what I'm talking about. 800-512-1600. And when you call Morgan & Morgan, do me a favor, tell them Big Sills sent you.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. When you're hit from behind in a car crash, the insurance company may try to say, you can't possibly be hurt. It was only a few miles an hour. It's simply not true. You see, here's the thing. Getting hit at 10 miles per hour is like falling off of this. 15 miles per hour, like this. And only 25 miles per hour, this. Injured, dial pound law. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
Go for the polls and the pools. Go for the oohs and the ahs. Go for the bubbles and the bubbly. Go for the story and the stories. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
On the field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on three. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass, free.
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
At Action News, we cherish every moment, and it's our profound responsibility to bring you closer to your world. Never miss a moment. Trust the people at Action News.
All right, did you know I was the mommy slam dunk champion?
Really?
Yes, really, don't sound so surprised.
Let's see it.
Oh, you're ready. All right, here we go. Let's hear the crowd. So go to right, go to left, fake 'em out. Mama, go up, up, up.
She did it.
Again? You can't avoid gravity, but United Healthcare can help you avoid financial surprises by helping you compare costs and doctor quality ratings. United Healthcare.
Uh-huh. Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
Welcome back. National Football Show. Do me a favor, guys. Please hit the like button. Couple likes away from 100. We always love that. Thank you. Real quick, don't you love Antonio Brown? I don't think I'm playing in 2022. I didn't know anybody asked you to play. Hey, Big Sills isn't playing in 2022. Yeah. So Big Sills, we're not playing. The gray hair and I've been out of the ball for about 35 years. I'm not playing. Did anybody ask you? No, but I'm not playing. Somebody wags some money in front of that dude, he'll be jumping right through the hoops. Yeah, can I play, please? God, if I were the Eagles, I'd offer him a contract. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Antonio Brown. Breaking. Big Sills will not play ball in 2022. Thank you. Thank you. Breaking news. Breaking news. We're not playing ball. Thank you, Antonio. All right. Hey, by the way, this just in. Where did the Kaepernick story go? Boy, do the NFL think you're wrestling fans. Man, they think you're dopes. You see what we did? We worked them out. We are civil justice. We believe in equal rights. We believe in player empowerment. Did the Raiders sign him? No. Boy, I mean, who do you have as backups in Las Vegas? That's my point, Razor. Who's the backups in Vegas? Don't tell me it's Nate Sudfeld. That would be great if it's Nate Sudfeld. Okay? Kaepernick can't beat Nate Sudfeld out. It's not like we have to poll vote over like Brett Favre here. Hey, Eastside Monster. Roger Goodell and the NFL. We believe in justice and justice for all. Yeah. Yeah, right. Nick Mullins. Woo! Mine's well be. Isn't Nate Sudfeld a Stanford guy too? Yes, we gave Cap. How'd the workout go? Good. Good. That's it. Good. Yeah. Well, this just in, sir. Is it true that Spike Lee is doing a documentary series with ESPN on Colin Kaepernick? Yes. Is it true that before the workout, Mark Davis was going to be interviewed by Spike Lee? Yes. So is it true that the next day, Mark Davis scheduled a workout for Colin Kaepernick for the cameras? No, that's not true. Well, did you sign him? No. So this was theater. No, we're civil justice people. You did this for theater. They think you're stupid. Spike Lee had an interview set up with Mark Davis prior to the workout. The workout came out of nowhere. Remember, everyone went, what happened here? He has a workout. It's part of the documentary now. The Raiders don't sign him, and it goes into vapor. The only way you're going to get a sense if Colin Kaepernick can play is if you put him in an exhibition game, not throwing in shorts and whatever. Holy cow, man. Holy cow. They think you're stupid. Hey, the Raiders and Mark Davis. Didn't you guys have a racist issue with a coach last year? No. Oh. So don't you like how all the media sources aren't hammering the league now? Why is that? Why do you think no one's hammering the NFL over this? Because they know their place. They're not going to talk shit on the NFL. This was all done. This was like window dressing. Hey, prove me wrong. You signed a guy. He's on a roster. Okay, then we're talking a different story here. But if the workout went well, but didn't go anywhere, what's the point? I'd rather sign T.O. I'd rather sign him. Dude, this is race baiting. As far as I'm concerned. Gotta love the NFL, boy. They tell you one thing and completely believe another thing. They ain't putting that guy on the field. He won a $20 million lawsuit against him. What owner in his right mind is going to put that guy on a football field? Colin Kaepernick. Oh, I knew it, man. Window dressing. Watch this. You know what, too? Let me tell you this. There's two stories that I'm not going to cover again. Gabe Kapler taking a knee because I don't care about that lowlife. Okay? I'll never talk about him again unless it's Giants related. Other than that, they want me to talk about it, so I'm not. And now the Kaepernick story, it's over. I just checked it off. Check, done. Okay? It's in the rearview mirror. I'm not covering that crap anymore. You know, I've probably wasted a full year of my life covering that Kaepernick story, and I regret it. And I wasted probably 10 minutes of my life talking about Gabe Kapler and his idiotic stance on Memorial Day when men lost and women lost their lives. I mean, that's it. You'll never hear me mention it. Unless Gabe Kapler in his Giants win, okay, the World Series. Done. Let these other guys bring these things up. To me, they're not sports stories anymore. These guys are old news. That knee thing is old news. You see, the NFL doesn't do it. Here, watch this. I got stories here. So Kaepernick's out. Here's my next one on my hit list. This goes out to Joel Embiid. Dude, do me a favor. Act like a veteran and act like a leader. Stop with this stupid stuff on the internet. Stop. Look stupid. You know the greatest thing about Jordan is his silence. Jordan's silence has this godlike presence every time he walks into the room. Brady's starting to fall into this a little bit. I'm seeing too much of Brady and hearing too much of Brady, seeing some dumb shit with Brady. Okay, I get he's enjoying his life. I get it. But it's kind of taking that shine off of Brady a little bit. When Tom Brady speaks or he walks into a room, you know, you're like, there he is, the GOAT. Now we're seeing more of him. I'll tell you what, I never seen Jordan never tweet anything except for Russell Westbrook a couple of years ago, congratulated him. And every time Jordan walks into the room, Michael Jordan has a presence about him. Every time LeBron walks into the room, I don't know. There's certain guys that when they walk into a room, there's a presence about them. People look at them. When you're jacking around on the internet talking about trade me, hey, you need another star, and you did, dude, why? Now, you know what? Did you get hosed out of being second team All NBA? Probably. Did you get hosed out of the MVP award? Probably. But you look like a kid now. You don't look like a leader. Okay? Act like it. Certain people have leadership about them. Okay? Act like it. Look at Kevin Durant. Look at today's NBA guy. Who would you say is today's biggest leader? Steph Curry? He acts like a kid. These guys all act like this. I guess when you have $250 million in FU money and it's all guaranteed, you can do those things. But people's perception of you will never be the same. And the only reason that Steph gets away for it is, to me, I think it's because he's genuine and because he wins. Think about how cool this is going to be if they beat the Celtics, who I don't think they will beat the Celtics. I think the Celtics are going to win the NBA championship, and they're going to hang number 18 in the rafters there, okay? And the reason that I think it would be cool, though, if Golden State does, look, they went through the Kevin Durant thing. They rebuilt the program up. They're back now in the finals again. That's pretty cool. That would have to be maybe one of the most rewarding things for the Golden State Warriors if they were to win it, to win an NBA championship after retooling and rebuilding in a way, after waiting for Klay Thompson to come back, Steph to still be there, carry the team. It's pretty cool, actually. Okay? It would be pretty cool. Okay? It would be pretty cool to see them win that championship. You know, would we agree? Would we agree that Kobe's star or Kobe's presence became bigger when he won a title without Shaq? Right? When he won that championship with Paul Gasol, and he won that title without O'Neal, and he won title number 5, didn't you go like this? That dude did it without O'Neal. Okay? That had to be the most rewarding championship for Kobe to win that title. Because when he won that title, that was all Kobe. And we looked at Kobe different after that, didn't we? Because we always kind of looked at it. When he won those championships with Shaq, you always went, you know, that team, Shaq was the most dominant big man, you know, maybe since Wilt and Jabbar, you know? And you're like, well, man, you got Shaq O'Neal on your team. Shaq took how many different teams to the finals? The Magic, the Lakers, the Heat. Right? He took 3 different teams to the finals. Right? I mean, we kind of looked at that Laker team and went, yeah, but that's O'Neal's team, kind of. When I thought about that Kobe and Shaq team, I thought about Shaq. But then when he won that title with Paul Gasol, I went like this, dude. That's special right there, man, on what that guy accomplished. And I looked at Kobe different because Kobe won that title by himself. Dude, there's certain guys that have great presence about themselves. Don't act like that. Don't fall in line with the James Hardens of the world or the Kevin Durants or the Kyrie Irvings, okay? Because you look immature and you look not like a leader, okay? Just my 2 cents. Dude, stay away from that stuff. Listen to me. I've had all kinds of issues on social media, but maybe I've learned all my issues from social media. You know what I do now? I barely throw anything out there because you know why? My daughter's right. You throw dumb shit out there, people are going to throw dumb shit back at you. Okay, so why do it? What's the point? Why put yourself in a bullseye when you don't need it? Just go out and play. I get today it's about likes and follows and this and views and all of that stuff. But I understand it's important. But dude, it's how people look at you and your perception of how they see you today. I look at Joel Embiid, I still see a kid. I don't see a grown man. When I look at Giannis, I think he's a grown man. I think when I look at Giannis is a leader. Giannis is the best player in basketball. I don't care what they say about the dude in Denver. That guy in Milwaukee's the best player in the game. You put 44, 14, and 4 up and lose, and people kind of dog you because Middleton wasn't out there and healthy. Okay, he still won an NBA championship. Okay? Yeah, Rico. Those guys who scrub their social media platforms, it's so juvenile. It's so juvenile, man. Hey, nuts. My respect for Kobe Bryant. You know what's crazy, man? My respect for Kobe Bryant came after he played. I thought about his career. I saw what a great dad he was. I saw what he was doing to try to build the WNBA up. I saw what he was doing to, like, really help youth sports. Kobe's a good dude, man. What a shame. The best part of Kobe Bryant's life we never got to see. It wasn't his basketball. The best part of Kobe Bryant was yet to come because that was the real Kobe. We saw the competitive Kobe. Hey, when you're competitive, let me tell you this. My daughter just got through playing in New Orleans for the national championship. And I tell her this all the time. The best part of you, okay, is not going to be here. She's like, what do you mean? I go, because you've got to be selfish here. You've got to be laser focused. You've got to be a jerk. You've got to be mean. You've got to be nasty. When you're fighting for something like that, nobody likes weakness. But when you're a human and you're a father or you're a mother, you got to have compassion, leadership, guidance. The best part of Kobe was to come. Okay? All the things he learned in Philly. Think about that. And I've said this before about Bryant. Kobe didn't learn Mamba mentality in LA. You think you're learning toughness in LA? It's a cream puff city. You learn that shit in Philly. Kobe personified Philly. Tough, hardworking, no shit, tough attitude, production, winning, love for his craft. Everything you guys raised him on, and Jelly Bean and the family did, he brought it to Philly, or he brought it to LA. That's what that guy was. AZ, I've never seen a WNBA game in my life. Dude, Kobe Bryant, man, best was to come. He made me a better dad. He made me a better father. Okay, when Kobe was like, calling himself girl dad and such. I do want to finish it up with this here. We talked about the stars. On the offensive side for the Eagles, the stars on defense are a little bit more limited. And by the way, when I say this to you, do me a favor. Don't tell me about Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean. They're not stars on your team. They are not. They are not stars. Like Jalen, they're potential stars. They are not stars. Okay? Here are your stars. Fletcher Cox, Hargrave, Hassan Reddick, and Darius Slay. Those are your 4 stars. On your offensive side, you have Malata, Dickerson, Kelsey, Johnson, Goddard, A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith. You got 7 stars there. On this side of the ball, you have 4. The potential's there. But the conversation on the defensive side is just that. It's more about potential. Okay? It's more about the potential than it is about the actual stars. So those are, again, there's not a lot of superstars or stars on that side of the ball yet. Can Nakobe Dean turn into that? Yet to be determined. We don't know. Will injuries be a part of that? Will weight issues be a part of Jordan Davis? And I don't mean to come from that side of the ball, but you've got to be fair on what a true star is. Your quarterback's not a star yet. There's guys, how about this? I would even make this point to you. Even on your offensive side, even on your offensive side, Devontae Smith's not a star yet. It's another potential kid. I don't think 900 yards is star. Okay? I think the quarterback kind of holds that back. I saw star things from him. That's why I put him in the conversation in the last hour. I put him in that conversation because I saw star moments. I think he can. Okay? So, but on defense, this is where this football team has to play and be. We need a lot of elevating. James Bradbury needs to get back to playing. Is James Bradbury a star? I would say James Bradbury is a good football player. Is TJ Edwards a star? I'd say TJ Edwards. Let's see him elevate his game to another level. Is Sweat? Is he a star? I think he's a really good football player. I do. I think he's a really good player. There's potential there. I'm not calling him a star, though. Your stars are in your O-line. Okay? Your stars are in your offensive line. Are you including, Lou, popularity has nothing to do with stardom in the NFL. Yeah, Lou, and again, I think that's one thing you have to, that's also with Jalen too. Jalen's not a star. Devontae, like I said, I saw star moments. And so to me, again, I think we have to see him in the upcoming year really play itself out. Hey, Randall, I brought up earlier, I saw that you were on the earlier show and you brought it up, and we echo what the guys at Sports Take said. So I'm glad you were able to come here and talk with us and have some fun here today. It means a lot to us, and we really appreciate it. And we look forward to you getting through that and seeing you here tomorrow. So we really appreciate it, everybody. Anyway, hey, folks, if you missed any of the show, please go back and like it. We're going to try to get Doc Rivers on tomorrow. So if you could hit the like button till tomorrow, 3 to 6, we'll see you on the flip side.